In this live coding session, we are doing test-driven development and trying to create a new SwiftUI subview. So I do call your shot saying this test should fail, telling us that the view doesn't exist, and instead, boom, it crashes, which was a surprise. And when you call your shot and things turn out differently, it's time to pay attention. We also use a technique after spending time in the debugger trying to figure out why did it crash. I don't want to ever do that again. So I use another technique to prevent that, not necessarily from crashing, but to tell us, hey, you're holding it wrong. Here we are again for another hour or so of live coding with me, John Reed. I am author of that. Please find me here. Welcome, Mudshark. And whoever else is lurking. And we'll have other folks join as they can. Glad to have you. For folks who are watching after the fact on YouTube, welcome. Thanks. If you like any of what you see, do subscribe because I do more than live coding. I want to share some of this. I have been trying to be a busy little bee over on YouTube land by starting to create this new series based on what everything we've learned. Well, this goes back a long time to when we were first doing project setup stuff, but starting to make actual curated videos to demonstrate TDD with SwiftUI. And as you can see, I'm also trying to keep them short. Like, I think the days of long form coding videos are, well, I mean, my oldest Objective-C, how to do Objective-C TDD video was like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes long. But trying not to do that, trying to make it for the new generation who grew up on MTV. Haha, that's a joke. Anyway, what are we doing? Last time we looked at law of Demeter, using a regular expression to help us and discovering where it was helpful and where it might be not so strong a law after all, and that's okay. It still helps us. What are we doing this time? For folks who are new to the project, we are working on Mastermind, which currently plays one round. Looks like this. One round, I'm going to guess. Black, black, brown, brown. Check. Oh, 2 in the right position. Which ones? I don't know. It's time to expand this to multiple rounds, or at least display multiple rounds. And I think the first thing we need is actually the round number. Before we expand to have multiples, let's add the round number on the left and figure out how to do that. And let's see if we can't test drive this thing. So, where do we even? Here we are on the game screen. Like, which is which here? Got an H stack with the code guess view. I'm going to guess that's rounds. And that may be us discovering that it's time to rename things. Let's see here. This sure looks like it. let's just double check. If I bring up the preview here and just slap something in, yeah, that by guess view, the 4 guesses and the pegs are the right. It's not just that, it's the feedback view also. Oh, those two belong together. Thank you. Okay, we've got some work to do. And yes, that is the right place to put a round number. So let's reset. So all right, to do this, let's first, well, actually showing the round number is a good place to start. Let's just start there. And let's do this in. So this is game screen. Do we want to extract it? I'm trying to decide. Extract first and then TDD, or extract or add the round number. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the game screen tests. Hello, Rick Meister. Glad to have you. Let's see, what was Garbob's? Yeah, round view. Uh-huh. It feels awkward to me to try to TDD it in here, because this is all game screen stuff, which has a lot of things in it. What do we got? Code choices, sets the guess colors. Show initial feedback pegs are empty. Updates feedback. So there's quite a bit in here. Why don't we extract it? Let's start there. Thank you, Garbob, for this suggestion. Just going to turn your note into a thing to do. Okay, so back here then, let's, whoop. Hey, get out of the way. Get out of the way. What? Help. There. I was holding down the wrong 2 modifier keys. You could probably see that flying by. All right. So we've got these become the round view. So this being just a straight up refactoring, there's no need for a test for that to drive this. I'm just going to say something blah, blah, blah. We'll discover what we need. Or can I take these and extract them. Why don't you get smaller over there? Extract subview. Aw, it only extracted the one? And of course, it doesn't get the things that it needs. Fine, let's pull that out and fix it up. It needs the game and the feedback pegs. All right, and we're game. What is this? So it's just copying those down. Do I need all the feedback pegs? I don't know. And rename this. I said rename it. Are you... Extracted view initializer. Fine. Game and feedback pegs. Yeah, so Rick, you know what would be nice is if you could have a default name for extracted methods instead of extracted view. Yeah. I mean, no one's going to make a tool that calls it applesauce or pineapple view. It would be nice if it asked. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nice if it asked you? Also, if it asked you, you're going to need these values. Would you like to pass them in? Okay, having done this, can I now... I'm trying to rename this, and it's not picking it up, as far as I can see. This is the oddest thing. Is it because... I don't know why. I'm just kind of grumbling today. That's okay. Hello, Marcus. Wow. I'm just thinking of Marcus and Rick. Have you met? We ought to get together. This is not going well. Oh. Maybe that's why it couldn't do the rename. Let me try this right now. Okay, now it finds it. Okay. It wasn't finding it because the arguments weren't right, I guess. Just so. Question is, will this pass tests? So I'm calling Marcus, you, and Rick out because Rick, I assume this is Rick? Ricky? In which case we are all at the same employer. This is a test-supported refactoring of extract. That's what I thought. So, see you guys on the TDD channel. I'm gonna try to awaken that. All right. That is funny. Good people to get to know. So if I pull out round view, and this brings it, maybe pulls these other things with them. Well, let's move it into its own place. It's kind of what I wanted to do. Copy and paste. And import SwiftUI and see what it complains about. The code guess view. Is that good enough? I don't know. Probably. If it builds, then it should be fine. So that is a low risk refactoring. Move round view on file. Yeah. I mean, there's certain kinds of things where if it builds, it's good enough, right? So we have a round view. Let me take a look. I'm just looking around right now. Sorry for the quick scrolling, but I want to see what's left here. We have the code choices view and the code choice view, and the feedback view is already on its own to be testable. That's why it didn't complain about that. Again, not sure about all the feedback pegs going in. You know, can't we just pass in? Or maybe no, that's a peg. That's an array of pegs. Oh, this is going to get tricky. Inspectable sheet. No, that was done months ago. Yeah, this is how to do. It's a bit of trickery. It required a little bit of view inspector help, specifically around sheets. I've got some weird spacing here. Let me just fix that up. How are we on spacing? Still a weird space there. Okay, gonna commit that just by running tests. All right, now that we have round view on its own, now we can start the work of what's the round number. And curiously, we don't have an idea of the round number. I keep forgetting that Swift format is built in now. I still have, is it down here? I have this from installing the Swift format appy thingy, as an extension. I don't know what it means to have Swift format inside of Xcode. I guess you can give me a lesson there. Are there any tests that make sense to move? Probably not. Everything Control-Shift-I. I do use Control-Shift-I quite a bit. Oh, wait. I don't. Yeah, this is interesting. Editor. Structure. So no, I am not really familiar with this. I was thinking re-indent, Control-I. But this is news to me. I wonder how you set up rules for it, or it's just like, meh. You get the baked-in rules, or if it accommodates the rules. I don't think I have pulled out any special rules. Format file. There's probably no automated call it on save action. You'd have to add, your own Git hooks, I suspect. Hey, we haven't played the game yet. When we have not only a handful of folks here, that's okay. You're the ones that matter. I'm kidding for folks who aren't here and watching this afterwards. I joke. Dub, what do you think's gonna happen? Well, I think AI something has to be a bet. They've got to say Apple Intelligence at least once. Otherwise, I don't know. Do any of you even use? Do any of you use this? This is... I guess we'll see what they announce and who Apple has decided to partner with. They'll announce cool things, but not say anything to address deteriorating relationships with third-party devs. Yes. I expect so. We'll see. One of the funny things is that we had to turn this off at work. And if you don't already have it off at work, turn it off. Because of the memory suck just because the work project is too big. And it will quickly run over our physical memory. Okay, getting back on track here. We want to add the round number, and we need a way to specify the round number. That's new. So now let's TDD that into existence. By adding round view tests. I'm working on a new project right now, which is, excuse me, a Swift package. And I'm surprised that when it doesn't ask me for a test for a name, like when I use this, it doesn't ask me for the name. It just says, the name is tests. Probably because they don't want us to poke around and muck with it and move things anywhere. It's just, it goes where it goes. Marcus, it's pretty easy. I can send you the template I use and you can muck with it to your heart's content. So let's do round view tests. First starting, yeah, it's got to have, right? What's a round view without the round number? Now let me make sure that TCR is off so that it doesn't revert me because I want to see this fail. Nice. Okay. Shows round number. What's that going to look like? We need view inspector. Oh, shoot. We need view inspector. This is the wrong type of thing. I mean, it might work until it won't. That is, it might work to have a Swift testing file until it doesn't. And it's like, shoot, I need XC test. I forgot. That will be in the tricks that I create in my small videos. Round view tests. No, we still have view inspector, but view inspector requires XC test still. When you get into anything that mutates, it is set up to operate with XC test. Okay. It works okay as long as you don't, as long as you can build the view as we're about to do and just look at it. But if the view needs to mutate in any way, then it calls like XC test expectation, which we don't have. In Swift testing, we've got other stuff. So this shows round number. Interesting how it's trying to call this out Already. I don't mind. Let's make it a more interesting number. Or do we want to extract it? Let's extract our way there. Oh, it's going to need some stuff. All right. Then we make a game. And we make pegs. Where did the pegs come from? Let's take a look at our game screen tests and find the pegs. We've got the game. I'm a little confuddled. Okay. The game makes the pegs and passes. Yeah, we'll see how we like this. But let's just do it for now. Wow. What happened to, like, what happened to is it a battle between GitHub Copilot and me? Are we typing on top of each other? I'm not sure what happened there. So I expect this to not fail. Like, it should at least build this thing. Thank you. Start first test of round view. And now I need to, we really want to add, what round is it? Or is what round is it? No, I was going to say it's in the game. No, the game knows what the current round is. So let's say this is round 2. And get this to build. That will build. And then we're going to use our trick. If I can remember what I did, it's a view. So I want to make this easily inspectable to grab the round number subview, and I don't do this often enough to remember what my shortcut is. Let's have a look at the shortcuts. SwiftUI Viewfinder. Find view. Okay, I'm gonna get used to this. Find view. This is going to be the round. And this is probably going to be a text. And it can't find any of this because it doesn't know what view inspector is. Round text. So this is my handy dandy thing to say extend the view inspector inspectable view just in this file to say look up a particular accessibility identifier, and we supply like what's it supposed to be. So now I should be able to say try to inspect it and get the round. And this will be the round view. Now this should fail because it doesn't exist. This is something else I've noticed about SwiftUI TDD versus other TDD. You notice I'm going top down. And I just gave a talk at work where I highly recommended going bottom up. And it doesn't work as well to really go bottom up, because there's this step of this thing needs to come into existence first. I mean, we could obviously get the idea down here, which is, well, it says so. Round view label is 2. But this will fail, and this is a necessary, I don't know what to call it, step. It's like the first thing is to TDD the view into existence. What's it yelling about? We will provide round 1. Expect this to fail, saying couldn't find the view. Yeah, it depends is a good thing to keep in mind, that we come up with, oh, it crashed? Why the heck did it crash? That was unexpected. So we were just talking about it depends being the classic thing that qualifies you to be a senior engineer, is when you can say that, it depends. That's the trick. Because it really does. Everything is contextual. This is a surprise, though. I called my shot by saying I expect it to fail, saying I can't find the view, and instead it crashed. Now it's time to pay attention and ask, what is it? What happened that we weren't expecting? And let's find specifically who tripped. So I turn the debugger back on briefly. I normally live with it off. Look at how deep this stack runs. We are in, okay, we're in the right thing. We're even on the right line. But we're getting an index out of range. which must be something in the feedback view. Is that what I saw? Yeah. The feedback view is not set up correctly. Here I thought I did it okay by saying, the feedback pegs are what you got. Okay, so if it is out of range, it is trying to get index 0 when the feedback pegs themselves must be empty. It has 0 values. And this is in the feedback view. So what surprises me is, what does this do? Why didn't it give me 4 pegs, as I expected? It doesn't matter that there is no accessibility. Line 20 requires it. That's where I expected View Inspector. I don't think that's where we're crashing. Because View Inspector will say, I'm looking for this particular accessibility ID. I can't find it. And it will fail the test, not crash. The problem is we are building up, doing stuff with the feedback view, which apparently is empty, to my surprise. All right, let's go back and try this again. And since this is only this test, we can focus in on it alone. So the feedback pegs 0. Good question. Because I think it is the inspect, actually. Just making this, just creating it alone shouldn't be a problem. Let's try it. Yeah, I don't want to commit that. So my suspicion is that it is the act of creating the view itself that will crash. It didn't. What? Isn't this fun? I'm still also confuddled as to why the feedback pegs are empty. Let's go into here. And wind our way in. Where are we? So we have our initial feedback. Where size is the code count. Where's the code? Yeah, this is We are so confused. Did I not supply a secret code? Here's the secret maker. Make new secret. Dump, dump, dump. I predict that this will fix things. Let's bring it back, but I'm going to keep the debugger on. Actually, I'll keep, come back. Let me move this down. And let's see that the feedback pegs are not empty. Hooray, 4 values. Okay. So, the game was not set up correctly. Yeah. Oh. Now it should say I can't find it. Now it should say, how do I want to see the full error. This is not being very cooperative right now. Let me turn off the debugger again. Run all tests. There. And this gets a little tricky because it doesn't show us the error because it is a thrown error. Like that's how it works. So it only shows up inside of here. Search did not find a match. Phew. Okay. That was fun. Let's now get this much to pass by creating, maybe it should be round number. By creating something with the ID round number, and we'll put that into our round view. So add a text foo accessibility ID round number. I predict that the tests will pass. They do, but I don't want foo to go in there. So I'm not going to commit that yet. We are not done. Okay. Now, this should say foo is not equal to 2. Phew. Okay, then. This is... I'm trying to get the arrange act assert correct. There we go. Okay. Wow. So that I don't break things. That's why I haven't been committing this. Let me do change this to round 1. And let's do hard code it. These go away. Hey, John. Full of surprises, this stuff. That's when it is good to pay attention. More attention. So this should pass. Hooray. Ah. That was confusing. So this is a medium risk feature. Show hard-coded round number. Yeah, but an assertion would have helped. So I think paying attention to what Garbub is saying, it took a lot of debugging to figure out, and we don't want to do that again. So to prevent that, like this is the bugaboo here. It would be nice if there were some, something before it crashes to tell us, hey, you didn't call make new secret. Kind of like assert kind of like that. Is this what's in the secret? Let's have a look at the secret itself. Size. So what I want to see, yeah, this is a plain old assert that is going to crash. Like its goal is to crash and give us information that it's not about this isn't about tests. This is about you're holding it wrong. So if I do this, and let's just have the debugger on for this one. Fail fast with useful information. There. Right there. Look at that. Okay, this is good stuff to call out. What are we doing? I did. Let's add some thoughts here. It also kind of suggests maybe the design isn't right. If I can make such an easy failure, maybe the design isn't right, or maybe it is. So this is like plain old assert to what happened? I was surprised when I called my shot. Crash hard to find. Add this. That's what I'm doing there. To tell us next time. To help us next time. Let's commit that. That is valuable. What is this? I'd say it's a feature. Add runtime assert. Okay. Few. The test passes. Now it's time to refactor. What do I want to refactor? This. I want to get these out of here. It is temporal coupling. Thank you, Rick. That you have to call this before you call that. And so that might be a problem. It might not be a problem, but it is temporal coupling. And so the assert at least stops us. Before it crashes, it'll crash with a message and guide us right to the line with the thing saying, call this thing, would ya? This whole thing I want to extract as make SUT. Let's extract. Oh, I keep forgetting it won't extract a variable for us. Let round equals 1. Pass in the round. So what I'm doing is I'm extracting the variable. So that I can extract this and pass in the round. Except that it wouldn't let me. We'll do it by hand. Well, it's already figured out what we want. There. So now I should be able to say make SUT with round, and I'm just going to inline this. So normally you would pass this variable back in, but I'm going to take the extra step of inlining it as well. All to clean this up. Oh, try. Okay, this is funny. I did a fix all, and because often fix all is like, you know, it knows what to do, fine, do it. The problem is that there are multiple choices here, and it doesn't know which to do, so it uses them all. Grant, unrelated question. Are there useful tools, libraries, approaches you've seen for doing acceptance tests in Swift? Gosh. I feel like acceptance testing has been around for iOS for a long time. There used to be a project called Frank. Kind of like Frankenstein's monster, I think, except the icon was a hot dog. Frank. I don't know of anything that's current, which is a crying shame, and it shows what a not great state we're in. So if anybody else knows, if acceptance tests are like UI tests, but they're not. They may or may not go through the UI. Oh my gosh. Testing with Frank. Man, I haven't seen this forever. So I don't have a good answer there. I do think that there have also been what's the acceptance test runner? Fit. There's a version of Fitness. Approval tests. Yes, you can do some acceptance testing with approval tests. Let me show you what I mean by that. Oh, little window there. An example of using approval tests to do acceptance testing. Where is a sequence? This is a test of the game of life in playing 3 frames with I forget the name of 3 in a row that flips, that oscillates. And it plays, it says, this is the initial board, this is the board after round 1, and this frame 1, and this is the board on frame 2. So that was in, which one? Test sequence. And it looks like this. We're going to verify a sequence passing in a closure that and the number of frames and have it advance where this is the call to advance the game of life. That's a style of acceptance testing. There used to be, and probably still is, Fitness. Not, I don't mean fitness. I mean fitness, like this. Yeah. Yes. When you use acceptance tests, it's helpful to have um, a reporter or a description. All you have to do is say what is put into a usually a textual thing. It can be Markdown. It can be any text. It can be an image, and say, here's the result. Capture it. Anyway, that's an interesting digression. Let's finish up. We are at time. What I want to do is now do an interesting. let's put that down. So maybe we'll come back to this. We are at an hour. This has already been full of surprises. Fitness looks. There is a video series from Clean Coder. Clean Coders. There we go. Paul Stringer. He demonstrates using fitness to drive a calculator app, but not looking at the UI. It's not the UI. That's the critical thing. I think that a lot of people miss about acceptance testing for iOS I think Martin Fowler calls it subcutaneous, that is right under the skin. That ideally we have a whole battery of tests that are checking the business logic by not going through the UI, not UI tests because they're too freaking slow. Yeah, he used the reference card of a classic calculator, but the behavior, and so you have to expose, like, how do you get at the thing under the UI? So you need to build with testability in mind, and then like try a bunch of scenarios in a form that is easy and nice to use. Fitness looks amazing. I've never had the chance. Let's come back next time and finish up keep going with TDD on this one. So we're still working on add round number. We're not done there. But what we have there should work. That's why I was fine committing it. There, it works. Ship it. It won't break anything, so ship it. Yeah. Ugly. Man, I should submit this to Apple. Win some awards. All right, let's call it. That's good enough for one session. Thanks for participating for the good. Oh, wait, is there anything else? Anything else we want to call out about what we did today? We had the surprise. We had to debug. We talked about temporal coupling. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh, right. It's Swift format, not Swift format. That's the difference. Two different things. But good to know. Good to know. Thank you for calling that out. Excellent. Excellent. All right. That's a wrap for one session. Thank you for joining in. For folks who are watching after the fact, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, hey, subscribe and do stuff, you know, train the algorithms. And next time we'll keep going and we'll see where we land. All right. Thanks very much. I'm just checking all my buttons here and make sure everything is fine. Okay. Thanks very much for coming, and I'll see you next week. Have a great week.